What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. We have Hayes Ventura, 1594 versus Alpay Engin. I know that this is the guy who, what's it called? He just top forward YCS Prague with Nekroz, and you see he's playing Nekroz here. Looks like he's going up against a Monarch deck. As soon as I saw Monarchs, I saw escalation of the Monarchs, I instantly just was like, okay, we have to record this. Yo, we got Mobius in the motherfucking house, and Mobius is looking legit as fuck right now because he's about to nuke some back row. So, was he going to Book of Eclipse him? So he loses MST, and what's that? That was Nekroz cycle. Okay, so he gets Book of Moon. He still got through all the back row, and he has Vanity's Emptiness, so that's kind of big. Now, Vanity's Emptiness plus 1,000 defense isn't the greatest thing in the world, but we're gonna see what Hayes Ventura can do here. 1737, 1594. I'm actually higher rated than you, but yeah, that's why a lot of people will say, oh, being ranked high on Dueling Network doesn't mean anything. Well, this guy, like 2 days ago, I think right now he's in the top 15, but it's like, okay, well, if he's a good player on DN and he just went and got 4th out of YCS, I'm pretty sure that Dueling Network is a much better barometer of people's actual skill than Dev Pro, where the game actually plays for you. I don't like that shit. I just don't. People make mistakes in real life as part of the game. Dev Pro basically takes that away from the player. That's not how real Yu-Gi-Oh is. All right, so the Manju is unfortunate because he can just totally attack over the Monarch. A Solemn Warning would be huge here because clearly he has nothing in his hand but monsters that are, what's it called? Monsters that are just rituals. Oh, activates Forbidden Lance. Nice. Now he knows his Vanities is going to totally ride because with Lance, this guy only has 600 attack. He can't kill Mobius now. We know that he has Nekroz Mirror and I believe Kaleidoscope in his hand. I think he just got Colossalus, was that? That Lance is randomly huge. I never thought I'd see Monarchs this format, but you know, Monarchs are one of those decks where the following never truly dies. I don't think the following for Monarchs is ever going to truly die. He activates Nekroz Mirror, obviously that is responded with Vanity's Emptiness. We knew he had Emptiness because he duality'd for it. Now, Alpay, I think he's running 2 shared rides in his main deck. I looked at his deck profile. I don't remember it 100%, but I did watch the video that went on Dual Rock's channel. So, if you guys want to see that, just leave it in the comment section below, and I'll leave a link to Alpay's deck profile. You know, I'll just do that regardless. So, anyways, Hayes now has the Vanities up, and he has a big beat stick, and I don't see him getting over 2400 without special summoning, unless he has Dance Princess plus he has to have Dance Princess plus what's it called? Dance Princess plus Decisive Armor. He searches out a Valkyrus, which it'll buy him some turns, but it won't get rid of the problem. You know, if you're top decking Manju Sanjus, it's good because you thin your deck out, and you know you can technically like sort of advance your game state a little bit by getting those dead cards out of your deck and getting them to your hand and hopefully using that as protection. He opts not to use the Valkyrus, and I believe that was he now is going to activate March of the Monarchs, so tribute monsters cannot be targeted by or destroyed by effects. Oh my god. I feel that is incredible here, because if you thought you were going to top deck that Regeki or that Dark Hole, like, you're just not. I say that like you guys are like, Capital G, why are you getting so hyped? This card's been, I know the card has been out forever, but come on, I really have not seen it in a DN commentary. So that March of the Monarchs is crazy big right now because it blocks him from Regeki and Snatch Steel, Regeki, Dark Hole. Those are the 3 cards. Well, he already burnt Book of Moon. That would be the 4th card, but all of those cards are just no longer a threat to him. So this seems really good. Now he leaves himself susceptible to this getting him ST'd and then this dying, but I mean, it's not like it would have been much worse anyway than if the Vanities just died by itself. He activates Preparation of Rites. Again, none of this really does anything. He can get all the spells and brios that he wants, but I don't really know what it does. If you have 8 cards in hand and you can't activate any of them, or you can't use any of them, I think Alpay's probably gonna have to burn a Valkyrus here. This could be the time where he's setting up for the Dance Princess play. Okay, I guess he's going for it. I know this because somebody used this against me. Oh, okay. So first he doesn't have decisive armor, but he is just going to Book of Eclipse it. Now it's not technically targeted, so it does go face down. And now he can just run it over with the beautiful Dance Princess. All right. So down goes Mobius after about 6 turns. I think Dance Princess is a card that people have to run in Nekros because it gives you some types of outs to cards like, you know, this. I mean, when your opponent does Vanities plus a big monster, it actually lets you somehow play Yu-Gi-Oh! Got a lot of watchers up in here, man. 145. So he went for Herald. Okay. So he'll be able to search one more. I'm going to guess he's going to get Sharit. Or, no, I guess he'll get Trishula if he doesn't already have it in his hand. This is where Maxi actually would be pretty decent, because your opponent has already conducted their battle phase. So it's like, what more can they really do to you other than Trishula you? You know what I mean? Now, it would have been better for him in this situation if he didn't have March of the Monarchs on the field, because he wouldn't be able to get Trishula. But, I mean, them's the breaks, you know. Maybe his opponent does have Dark Hole or Regeki in their hand, and maybe they can't use it now. So, the Book of Eclipse got the job done. I mean, I guess Alpay could have waited until he had another Brio, so he could have got Decisive Armor to his hand, but he'd have had to wait another turn, either take another attack or use Valkyrus. Doesn't seem like he knows what he wants to get yet. And so he is getting the Nekros of Trishula. And obviously he has that Nekros mirror in his hand already. So he will definitely activate it. I mean, I assume he'll activate it. No reason not to, right? But I'm just glad to see Monarchs, man. Just glad to see Monarchs in the house. Alright, so there's that Nekros mirror. Oh no, he's paying 8 stars for Valkyrus. Okay. He adds the Unicorn back because the Dance Princess effect. And maybe he feels like he doesn't need Trishula. He's going to activate Valkyrus' effect. I kind of want a Valkyrus. I don't want to play Nekros right now. I love Valkyrus. Like that's my fucking homie right there. So he'll draw a couple of cards. I guess he plans on using Cycle to summon it. Oh goodness, Preparation of Rites. I think when Konami released Preparation of Rites, they never thought rituals would be like that good. So shouldn't Preparation of Rites have been 1 per turn? Like when you look at the card now, because you already know what's going to happen. They're going to have to limit Preparation of Rites is going to get limited before. I think it's going to get limited in April. I think it is March 3rd. I think you have less than 1 month to play with 3 Preparation of Rites. I'm just being 100% honest. Now I believe that Hayes Ventura may have kept the Valkyrus out because it is a big beat stick, so Monarchs can't run it over. Unfortunately for him, if Hayes has a Stormforth or a Soul Exchange, then that kind of just gets rid of the Valkyrus. So that's the only reason I think he didn't go for Trishula there, is because he wanted to keep a big monster on board. Now, if you're Hayes, obviously the best case scenario here would be like Stormforth plus a Vanity's Fiend. Or, I think I'd want Vanity's. I wouldn't want Majesty's Fiend because my opponent would just they would just resummon Valkyrus back and attack over it, and then they would use the effect, and that's not good. Valkyrus having Valkyrie's having 2900 attack is so fucking, it's so, like, it's so important. I never thought like that, just them having that huge of a beat stick would be that important, but it really is. Not just because it gets over 28 cleaves, but then, it does so much fucking damage by itself. You know what I mean? Like, they feel content just having one monster on board. That's why I always say Nekros is a counter punching deck. All your plays in Nekros are just made to counter your opponents. Outside of the Genlock and Unicorn plus Manju. Like, outside of that, you're not really gonna do any moves unless you're just countering your opponent. Because if they're not putting shit on the board, that's when you just be like, Manju attack, Sanju attack. And like, you don't need to even ritual summon at that point. Unless you just want to go YOLO. I have seen that a couple of times where people have just gone YOLO. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, because every deck can't have Valkyries, right? When I first read him, I thought that you didn't have to, I thought that you just send him to the graveyard and it ended the battle phase. I was like, oh my god, this is the best card ever. And I was like, oh, you have to banish a Nekros from your graveyard. Okay. It's still fantastic, but it's not insane. You can't splash it and burn. You know what I mean? Alright, Hayes, what you got? Both players have 5 cards, although you could argue that Alpay's 5 cards might be better. We don't know any of Hayes' cards except the Monarch card. Escalation. Nope, excuse me, March. Escalation's in the graveyard. Now Alpay is speaking that they're German, which I guess they don't speak in Prague because that's not in Germany. It's in the Czech Republic, apparently. I have no idea what they speak in the Czech. Maybe they do speak German in the Czech Republic. I don't know. I don't know what they speak in the Czech Republic. Probably not a lot of English. Maybe a little bit of English. Probably not that much, though. Alright, this duel has come to a screeching, height-killing halt. Definitely, if I was Alpay, I would be like, I mean, if this was an event, I'd be like, yeah, you need to make a move now, because it's been like 2 minutes and you haven't done anything. And in 15 seconds, I'm calling a judge for slow play. Not trying to be a dick, but Hayes has been sitting here with this same card, hasn't shuffled his hand, hasn't done anything. He just keeps, yeah, I would have called an admin by now, because I don't tolerate slow play. Like, if you need to think that hard about your deck, you should play something different, or you should play it more to master it. But I don't like going into time because people do shady shit like side in Mystic Walk and all types of other janky shit for going into time, and I'm not about that. Capital G does not like going into time because I want to finish shit in the 40 minutes that we're given. Okay, I guess they're both German. Does every word in German have a damn E in it? I swear. I know it's the most commonly used letter, but geez. It's like they put E's in everything. Alright, so it looks like Hayes is actually going to play. I believe he's special Jester Comfeat and then tributed for Majesty's Fiend. I have no idea what this card does or how this is not going to just immediately die to an attack. Okay. Unless I'm missing something. I don't really see how he can't just attack him. Yeah, he must know something that I don't know. I don't really understand what Hayes did there. He just must have felt like going neg for no reason. If you haven't learned by now, when Nekros players summon Valk and Trish, they don't commit other monsters to the board. They just keep attacking with that one monster until you do something to them. Like, until you counter their big monster, they're not going to do anything. The only monsters they will commit to the board are Manju and Sanju. That's it. They won't commit anything else. Unless they really believe that they can go for game. Because there's just no reason to. Like, he has Trishula, but he don't need to summon it. I mean, I guess he can summon it just to pretty much end the game, give him no possibility of coming back. Because now he would basically need Mystical Space, Snatch Steal plus another Vanity's Emptiness. And it looks like the dream is dead here. Alright, I'm not really sure what this is doing not really sure what this card is doing in this deck. I get that it's tribute fodder, but I don't know. It seems like Soul Exchange would just be better because it gets rid of the monster. Because he can't, none of his tributes right now can beat over Valkyris. I mean, it's just not going to happen. He's setting cards, but just going to keep attacking with Trishula and Valkyris. And, I mean, that's, what, 6,600? I mean, don't nobody want to take that shit. That's 6,600. You basically about to get KO'd in 2 turns. Alright, Mirror Force is played. Although Gungnir totally saves Valkyris. My personal favorite. I can't say that enough. Valkyris is my favorite. So he's still going to eat 2,900. He might even consider putting Gungnir back in his hand just for the random chance that you get Regeki'd or Darkhold. Yeah. Alright, so Hayes just passes and Alpay says, I'm just going to attack. Alright, he's now close to 1 attack, putting him out of his misery. Alpay probably sets a bluff. It could be Book of Eclipse. I don't even think he would need it at this point. He finally gets a Monarch Stoneforth. Unless that card is Vanity's Fiend, I don't think he can run it back still. It's Vanity's Fiend. Okay. Just as I was going to stop recording about 30 seconds ago and say, well, Monarchs played and they got their ass destroyed and it was cute while it lasted for that first turn of hypeness. He actually has a chance. Now you really hope that this isn't Book of Eclipse, because if it's Book of Eclipse, then the dream is probably dead. Oh my god, he can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Alpay might actually lose. Monarchs, this is like one of the, okay, so he plays Book of Eclipse. So he top decked that Book of Eclipse. This is getting interesting. I think he might end phase MST, or these could be dead spells. He gets his Vanities back up. Now Hayes is burnt through, or excuse me, Alpay is burnt through a lot of Manju Sanju, so I don't know if he has any more. Oh my goodness, he doesn't have any more Manju Sanjus. He burnt through them all. I think he has burnt through all, I think he has 9 cards in the deck. I think he burnt through all his Manju Sanjus. He can't get over this guy now. This is incredible. And you just know Forbidden Lance. I'm calling it right now. Oh man. I was thinking, I was like, I'm calling Forbidden Lance right now. This is one of the most improbable runbacks you might ever see on this channel if he pulls it off. This game looked like he had no chance of winning. And he is thirsty for a Manju or Sanju because he can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. He gets Preparation of Rites, which I guess technically can buy him a turn. He scoops! He scoops! What? He scoops! I can't, yeah, that right there, that's my reaction. Oh my fucking god, really? Sometimes when I try and record original decks, and I see them against Nekros and Klee, there gets a point in the duel where you're just like, okay, there's no hope, the dream is dead. I don't want to sit here and just keep recording this player who tried to build an original deck, get his face bashed in for 4 more turns. And that's exactly what it looked like Hayes Ventura was going to have happen to him. And he actually ran it back. Like when he mirror forced, I was like, I don't really know if that does anything, because I'm pretty sure he can just get them motherfuckers back. But when he was able to top deck that Monarch Stormforth, I was like, okay, well, unless it's Vanity's Fiend, nothing else really matters. And it was fucking Vanity's Fiend, and by golly, he ran it back. Able to play through 2 Book of Eclipses just because Alpay didn't have any cards to beat over it. He had already used Dance Princess, and outside of that, it's just Manju Sanju. Now, Alpay is going second, obviously because Tribute summoning turn 1 is a little harder when you can't soul exchange or storm forth your opponent. A little more difficult to put that Majesties of those Vanities up. I think if I'm Hayes Ventura, I'm side decking 3 Mind Crushes and 3 Shared Rides and like not even thinking about it. Definitely side decking those 6 cards. I don't think he's main decking Mind Crush, but you gotta bring in Shared Ride, bro, because not only can you just set it like this and know that you don't have any more monsters or anything on the board, so you can't be Trishula'd, but it's just a good card in general against most decks, and you could use it right here. Your opponent activates Brio, Shared Ride. I love Shared Ride. I really believe in it in this format. So I'll pay Chains, and it's is that Magic Jammer or is that Curse of the Forbidden Spell? Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell. I was close. Okay. The artwork looks similar to Magic Jammer. I was like, wait a minute. Nobody's using Magic Jammer anymore. I remember when Metal Raiders came out. Well, I actually wasn't playing then, but I remember at Metal Raiders, Magic Jammer was an ultra rare. And even then, I was just like, really? Like, Magic Drain came out in Pharaoh's Servant, and I know that it didn't negate the spell, like, guaranteed, but I just thought, like, Magic Drain was, like, way better. I remember you have to discard a card for Magic Jammer. I was like, not doing it. I'm not gonna discard it. Unless it's, like, Pot of Greed, I'm just not doing it. Like, fuck that. It was too many powerful spells back then. Stopping one of them and your opponent has, like, 2 more, it just, you know what I mean? Like, you Magic Jam Regeki, and then your opponent activates Pot of Greed and draws Dark Holes. Like, what'd you do? You went neg 1 and they still got what they wanted. Alright, so he's gonna activate Cycle for Brio. He might want to go YOLO here and just see if he can kill him. Although he searched another Brio. I'm like, if you're going Brio, I'm not really sure you can kill your opponent. Because I believe you've already used Brio. This is the first card you activated. So no, he's going to search Colossalus instead from Charit. And then go Mirror, pays. Well, I guess that's the whole payment for Valkyrus. Can't kill him though. So it's 5,200. He'll probably just want to leave his field wide open so that he can't use Stormforth. Okay, so he just okay, it tributes both. I'm like, bro, don't have the same thing happen to you that happened to you last game, where your opponent Stormforth your Valkyrus and then just you couldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore and you lost. All in all, if I'm Hayes Ventura, that wasn't the worst thing in the world that could happen. Alright, so he gets himself a Kaleidoscope. He'll probably won't use it. Sets 1. Don't know if that's a Book of Moon or a Book of Eclipse or something. Alright, so Hayes is going to set multiple cards now. Don't think those Forbidden Lances are going to come in handy in this matchup. The only thing they really stop appears to be Book of Eclipse and Book of Moon for the most part. I don't think I'll play Run Snatch Steal. Doesn't really seem necessary in Nekros. I think there's too much tutoring action going on. I don't think Curse of the Forbidden Seal is that good. I would rather just draw cards with Shared Ride. Play things like Battle Fader so I don't get OTK'd. Because Curse of the Forbidden Seal, I mean, I guess you can use it on prep and the ritual spells, but still, I'd rather just draw cards. I'd rather be able to advance my game state than stop yours. Well, technically, Shared Ride does stop your opponent's game state too. It stops them from advancing theirs while advancing yours at the same time. If he takes this attack, he will almost be dead unless he has Decisive Armor. Nope. But he can make Cowboy. So that's really bad because I'm not really sure that Hayes is showing us anything that counters Cowboy. What is that? Tenacity of the Monarchs. So he's going to activate Mistake. Fair enough. Okay. So he gets to search Monarch Stormforth straight from his deck by revealing a Monarch. That's a really good card. Activates Upstart Goblin, which will totally not trigger Shared Ride, by the way. He really needs a legitimate answer here. So he's going to activate March of the Monarchs, then the Monarch Storm Forth. How many Monarch cards is he going to use this turn? Then goes for Mobius. Unfortunately, Mobius is just, it's not quite the monster that it's not quite the monster that Vanity's Fiend is. I also think I probably would have considered siding out Mobius. I think even Thestalos would have been better in this matchup. Maybe you get to hit that Valkyrie out of your opponent's hand. You know what I mean? Like, I would think in order, like if you just went Order of the Monarchs versus Nekros, I'm trying to think here. Because I feel like Thestalos might even be the highest. No, because Thestalos can't. Alright, we'll go Ryza 1, Thestalos 2, and Caius 3, and all other Monarchs. Well, no, we'll go Mobius 4, and then everything else irrelevant. I put Thestalos above Caius, simply, oh my goodness, he has Vanity's Emptiness. This is the same combo he had before, when he almost won. This was the same combo. But, I put Thestalos above Caius because I know it doesn't kill the monster, but if Nekros players do this, if they leave their field open with Valkyries and stuff like that, then, you can totally just pick their hand out. You know, you can, and hopefully you hit a monster. You don't want to hit the spells. Those are just bad. But Thestalos is good because, yeah, you can hit the monsters and you might be able to even hit Valkyries and win. So I think that's pretty good. I think Ryza just because you can Ryza their Trishula and then they have to draw it, and that's not like, putting Trishula in the hand is bad, but making them draw it that's actually pretty good because they have to waste their draw phase for a card that you know, so you can just mind crush it. Alright, so I wonder if he's going to go for Dance Princess again. Try and do that run back, but okay, so he does, but does he have the Decisive Armor or the Book of Moon? Or no, Book of Moon doesn't work. Oh, he has Eclipse again. Damn it, this guy always has Book of Eclipse when he needs it. I swear to goodness. Now he's able to go for, I think you should draw even if the monsters aren't put face up. That's so lame. You have to wait until the end phase. I wouldn't be shocked if Konami limited that card too. So now Trishula's on board, or Trishula's in hand, should I say, because of Charit. He's going to use Valkyrie's effect, launch the Princess and itself, draw some cards, and then probably Trishula him. I don't think that he's used Nekro's Mirror this turn, right? Looks like he's going to search something. Man, the ability to just be able to search some spells from the deck, I swear to goodness, too good. So there's Nekro's Mirror. I think you also should have only been oh man, and he has preparation rights. I think Hayes Ventura needs to side deck Mistake also. Mistake seems like it could be pretty good, although he does do a little bit of searching too. I think that you should only be able to use one effect of the spells per turn. Like, you shouldn't be able to use Nekro's Mirror, activate it as a spell, and then later that turn be able to banish it and search out something. Like, that's too broke. Alright, goodbye Caius. Goodbye whatever. Goodbye Mobius. Unfortunately, it looks pretty bleak again. I'll pay sets 1, and it's looking like he needs to have Monarch Stormforth plus Vanities, and he just doesn't. Alright, so now Hayes finally can go second. He can finally get what he wants. I think he has to get rid of those Mobiuses, man. Mobius is cool and everything, but I don't think that I don't think Hayes or Alpay is going to set a whole bunch of back row anymore. I think he got caught off guard in game 1 by that, and I don't think it's going to happen again. I don't think he's going to set his MSTs. I don't think that he's going to set Book of Eclipse. I don't think he's going to set anything. Like, I would be shocked if he set any more spells this game, unless he has like already trished you and you only have one card. Hayes obviously goes second because he can Stormforth him. Actually, no. The one card he might set is Shared Ride. He has been setting that, and I think he'll keep on setting Shared Ride. I don't think he'll set anything else because there's no reason to. He knows that you can't OTK him, so Why put his cards on the field when you can Mobius them and you can MST them when he can just leave them in his hand? So it looks like he's going to activate the Kaleidoscope. Oh, goes Valkyris instead of Unicorn. Okay. Gets the Nekros of Trishula. Not really sure what that does right now. I guess he contribute it. It's going to activate Valkyris, tributing itself and Trishula to draw 2 more cards, and then I guess activate Kaleidoscope. See, that's that shit I don't like. I don't like that you can use Kaleidoscope and then activate it from the graveyard in the same turn. If you want to do that, like, I mean, I think you should have to go neg at least for the damn turn. The fact that you bust even in the same turn is just dumb. Well, it doesn't matter. He's going to go plus anyway because he has Preparation of Rites. So he's getting the spell out regardless. I mean, I understand why Konami did it. Konami had to, after Rituals had sucked for over half a decade, probably longer, Konami had to ensure that Rituals were going to be good. They weren't going to take it. They were like, we're going to make these motherfuckers good. That's a fact. We're not taking any chances. Now, the fact that your opponent has no monsters on board, I wonder how Hayes is going to fight back. He summons his, I believe it was that Jesper Magician? Jester Confit. Now he has Vanities out. Shit can get a little real now. He has that turn 1 Vanities Fiend. Obviously, he'll be able to attack. He activates the March, so it cannot be targeted or destroyed. Now he attacks. He really just needs a Forbidden Lance, maybe. Book of Eclipse is played. Or he just needs a way to stop his opponent from attacking. Book of Eclipse seems to be the Achilles heel right now of Hayes Ventura. Like I said, I don't think Alpay is not going to set that card anymore. He's just going to keep activating it from his hand. And it doesn't target, so. This is where like a Forbidden Lance plus a Solemn Warning or a Mirror Force just, it puts in that fucking work. Alright, so he activates Kaleidoscope. Hayes says, I got nothing. And he then is able to get him with, or summon the Unicorn with the Herald. Okay. I guess he's running this because he needs ways, if he's playing against Nekros, to summon. Because his opponents aren't dumb. They're not just going to leave monsters on the board after like game 1. They'll keep using Valkyries, keep attacking during their turn, tributing their monsters. So I kind of get why he runs that. That's the only thing I can think of, is he needs ways of tribute, or of summoning his tributes without necessarily his opponent having a monster. That's the thing about Monarchs. You can catch your opponent off guard, but then when they kind of smarten up, they're like, I'm not going to leave monsters on the board. Alright, so he then has Manju. Boy, this got bad. Because now he could potentially lose out to a Diamond Direwolf on his guy. He doesn't even have to attack him. Because you'd like to think maybe if you have Mirror Force, you could counter an attack, but now you don't have to worry about that. Searches out another Unicorn, which probably just going to trade it for something in his graveyard. Sharit, maybe? Ah, Trishula. Okay. Then activates Nekroz Cycle. Have Trap Trick, Chapeau Nightmare, maybe? Banishes Sharit for Trishula. That card in his hand has to be a monster. Otherwise, he would have set it to avoid Trishula. He only has one monster in his graveyard, one card actually, so that kind of sucks. Loses a card in his hand. Another Vanity's Fiend. That sucks. And then probably the Vanity's Fiend on his field. Nope, he goes after the back row. Mirror Force. Yeah. I don't really think Mirror Force would have necessarily saved him, because I think he's going to Diamond Direwolf the Vanities. just to play it safe. I think he will leave no chance of himself getting Mirror Forced. I think this match boiled down to, I just don't think, Diamond Dire Wolf on the face down. I don't think Hayes, I don't really think he sided in much. And unfortunately for him, if I'm playing this matchup, I'm siding in like 9 cards easily. Like the 3 shared rides and the mistakes would have been obvious. Those have been the first things I sided in. 3 shared rides, 3 mistakes. Oh, okay, I guess he's going to attack. And then if he needs to activate Diamond Dart Wolf. So, because this way he doesn't necessarily have to use Diamond Dart Wolf. Alright, so down goes Vanities. He can now tribute, get rid of, I believe that's Escalation. Tenacity, sorry. There's so many Monarch cards to remember. March, Escalation, Tenacity. He passes to Trishula. Now you probably just have to take attacks. And just hope your opponent doesn't play 2 Trishulas. Because if they play 2 Trishulas, you're probably going to have the second one dropped on you right here. And that'll definitely end this game. Why does no one ever summon Colossalus anymore? I haven't seen that card summoned in... God, it's been a very long time since I've seen Colossalus actually summoned. Nope, he goes Unicorn. And not quite. Oh, okay. He tributed the Dance Princess for the summon of Cycle. Okay, I'm like, what just happened there? All right, now he's down to 2 cards plus Escalation. He hasn't really gotten anything out of, March. I'm getting them mixed up again. He hasn't gotten anything out of March this whole game. Blind MST on Monarch Stoneforth. It's not like that was going to do anything. And 2 more attacks will either close this game out or somehow Hayes will hang on by a thread. Nope, he isn't able to. Okay, it looks like he did rinse Soul Exchange. But yeah, unfortunately, just not hitting any of his hitting any of his side deck cards, and it came down too much to having to completely rely on Vanities just beating the entire deck for Hayes. And Book of Eclipse is a thing, and it appears I'll Pay plays 3 of those. So I mean, he was just ripping them, and he wasn't going to set them after game 1 because he didn't want him to get Mobius or MST'd or anything. So figured he could just keep on holding on to him, and he ends up getting the game. Thank you guys for watching as always.